Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, X Stitch and Chill. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so excited to share some of my updates with you guys and I'm really glad that you are spending some time with me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. My name is Kelsey and this channel is all about cross stitching and loving cross stitching and cross stitching projects. If you've never cross stitched before, it's super fun. It's a type of needlework and it's very relaxing and calming most of the time. But I have a lot of updates today. My WIP pile is quite high, so let's just get right into it. We're gonna start with some starts. I know I haven't really had a lot of new starts in a little while, but I have like 3 now. So if you remember last FlossTube, I had bought a bunch of patterns. So I am working through those patterns a little bit since a lot of them are a little smaller. So the first one that I have is my Progress Goose, which is from Fine Frog Stitching. So this is a new start and it's almost a finish. I don't have much left. I just can only work on this when my daughter is not home or sleeping. It's summer, we all stay up pretty late. So this one's pretty small, it's going really quick, but I started it. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And like I said, it's almost finished. I just need to finish the flag and a couple little embellishments around, but here is where I am. Since it's so see-through, this is a 14 count black Ada. So, but here's my goose. He's so cute. So I just have like the flag to finish and a few more little embellishments around it. And I saw this pattern on Fine Frog Stitching's Instagram. And I was like, I have to have this pattern and I have to stitch it for my daughter. She's very excited about Pride. I think it's interesting to see how this younger generation kind of like reacts to it. So she's really excited about it. And she has another goose pattern that I have stitched for her from the Untitled Goose Game. So I wanted to stitch another goose for her to put up in her room. So I am really excited about this one. It's a surprise. So hopefully next time you see it, it will be fully finished and I can hang it up on her wall. All right, so my second start is a little different, but if you remember my last FlossTube, I purchased a couple patterns of plants that I was planning on putting on a bag. So I have started the bag and things are going well. At the very beginning of starting this channel, I was trying to stitch on a bag and things were not going well. So things are going much better with this bag. It's a lot smaller, but I'm stitching 3 different plants on it that I bought. I'll put all the plants up here. And I just put some 14 count waist canvas Ada on here. The stitches are most definitely not perfect at all, but here is my progress. So I have finished the first plant right here, and then I've started the second plant, the tiniest of starts on the second plant, but it is looking really good so far. And like I said, the stitches are like 0% perfect. There's definitely some stitches in there that are like super ugly. But as long as you don't look too closely, looks great. So once I stitch all of the plants on here, I'll pull all this out. And then it should just be plants on a bag. Hopefully mostly centered. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's done. It's super cute. It's a pretty big bag. Fits quite a bit. It'd be great like as a little makeup bag or something. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We'll see how it turns out and then I'll decide what it is worthy of. Okay, next start and the last start, which I don't even know if we can really call it a start. It's a start, but it's not really a start. So we are stitching, me and a couple Twitch buddies are stitching the Heart of the Seasons patterns from Little Dove Stitches, and we recently finished spring. Here's my finish. And the idea is to stitch them all within that season. So spring finished up in May, and then June started the summer stitch. So I have it started now, and I'm very excited. I've been working in the top corner. So they're all hearts, and they all have different themes and motifs based on season. It's finally summer in Colorado. We'll get to that. But yeah, here is my start. So this is a little hill. There's some flowers in there I haven't done yet. And there's a little lighthouse up here that I haven't gotten to yet. And then there's a tent that goes right here that I still need to work on. And there's like some water too. So there's still quite a bit to do on this little area. And it's fun working with everybody else because my mom is doing these and some other people are doing them. So it's kind of fun to see everybody else's progress and see who wins. I did not win the spring finish, but I got really close. And my mom finished just in time. I think Caitlin was the first one to finish spring. But there are some people who aren't finished with spring at all. So pick it back up later. We have until August to finish summer. So we only give ourselves 2 months to do spring. So now we have 3 months to do the rest. So it's not like a rush, but it would be nice to get it done within that time frame. I don't think I'll have a problem, but just, I don't know. I don't want to speak for the future. But yes, this is my summer start and it's so cute. I'm very excited to keep doing it. There's like a boat and there's like strawberries and stuff. It's going to be really cute. I'll put a picture up if I haven't already of what it will look like. So that is all of my starts. I'm excited to be working on these, and I'm excited that a lot of them are going to be starts and finishes very quickly. I have a lot of projects that are like going to take a long time, so it will feel nice to like finish something and finish something quickly. So we'll go into my whips now. If you've been on this channel for a while, this one will look very familiar. It is the Farming Magic Stitch Along from Flossie Fox Shop. I am still on part 5. I'm still working on the barn. I'm getting there. This one I mostly work on when I'm with my daughter at her cheer practices. And she kind of slowed down for a little bit, but she recently did evaluations and has been assigned to a cheer team, and she's very excited. And so practices start this week, and so I'll have a little more time bringing this one along with me to get more done. So hopefully I can catch up a little bit. Part 6 recently came out, so part 5 and part 6 look like this. If you've been here before, you know that I struggle a little bit with like Emerald bouncing around with the colors and stuff. And the barn has been nice because it's like one big chunk of color. I'm still enjoying this stitch a lot. Here's what it looked like last time. I guess I should show you that. And this is what it looks like now. So my little barn is getting there. I just have a couple more of this like salmon color stitches, like little accents, and then like the windows, and then I don't know what's down here, but that part. So there's not too much left. There's a little yellow that needs to go on there too. We got a little bit more to go. And then there's also like some clouds up here in part 5, and then part 6 goes over, and there's like a dragon and everything on there too. Now my daughter has a lot more time at the gym, so when I take this with me, hopefully I can get a lot more done. All right, the next whip is one that I recently got back out. It was in hibernation for a little bit. And that is my Schitt's Creek Landmarks, which is by Stitchy Time Designs. And it's a really fun one to work on. I've been working on this one on stream quite a bit. When I remember to stream, I've been really bad the last couple weeks. I am working on page 4 of this one. So I finished all page 3. I can put a picture of what it's going to look like. and the last couple pages that I did. And then what I shared last time, I don't know if I had stitched on this one last time after I shared it, or if I was just like, hey, it's coming back out. It's going to be here. Anyway, I put this in the Q-snap super crooked, so don't judge. But this is what it looks like now. So I am working on the Rose Apothecary, which pretty much takes up this whole page. And it's a lot of 420 and a lot of 939. So I am in like brown and navy blue hell right now. So there's going to be like a little window right here, and there's a window on this side. And I can tell you right now, I have messed up on this roof like 6 times, and I fixed it once and then realized that I messed up again. And I think I messed up when I fixed it. But this side has like an extra row, and this side somehow is not correct towards the bottom. There's like one more row of blue here, but there's a bunch more over here, so I'm just waiting to get, once I get there, once I finish the brown part. But yeah, I've definitely messed up a ton on this roof, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna let it go, and I'm just gonna keep working on it, see what happens. Because it's been trying. I think because it's like, sometimes it's like a 1 step over, and sometimes it's a 2 step over, and I just kept messing up and getting lost and everything, but it's fine. No one has to know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more done on this one. It's pretty quick just because it's like so much block of color, especially like this brown has been going really fast. So I should be able to finish with the top part of the apothecary pretty soon. I doubt it, but it would be nice to finish this page this month. But I highly doubt that will happen because I have so many other things to work on. And I like working on lots of different things and like switching it up and everything, but that just means that it takes longer to do the ones that you're working on because you're not focusing on them. If I get a page finished, awesome. If I don't, then just go away for a little bit and come back. All right. So my next whip is my temperature stitch. I don't get this one out every week or every FlossTube because it's just not super exciting. And sometimes I'm not caught up. So I am stitched up till June 9th on this one, and it's starting to get like really boring. Like the lows are the same 2 colors because it's always like high 40s, low 50s. Recently, it has been cold and raining here. Like today is only the 2nd day of sunshine we've had since June started. And, the pool opened in the end of May, and we went to the pool yesterday for the first time. But like we've had days where it's just rained all day, where it's gloomy and cloudy, and everybody's like, I thought I lived in Colorado. We're supposed to have like 360 days of sunshine or 350 days of sunshine or something. And it has not been that. It's been very, very rainy. And so today's like the 2nd day that it's nice out, and I'm looking forward to like putting some red stitches into my temperature stitch because it's all just been yellow. I don't even think I've gotten orange. Oh, I have a few oranges, but yeah, it's been super boring with my temperature stitch, and it's been super boring with the weather. Yeah, I went yesterday and I got sunburned. I think I just missed this spot like when I reapplied. I don't know what happened. It's just like right here where my sunburn is. I am excited about the nice weather and excited to add some new colors to my temperature stitch. I have stitched up to June 9th now. I don't know where I was before, and I'll look that up. But here is where we are. See how close I can get with you being able to see all of it. So the pattern is by the Needle and Floss, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure which way you do it. So like some people are going like diagonal like that, and some people just go like rows or rows. So I'm doing mine in a spiral shape. And it's been pretty fun. Like now that I have like the spiral like set, it's really easy. I don't have to look at the pattern anymore. I just have to look at my spreadsheet that says like what colors to do for what days. And like I said, I'm excited for some new colors going into it. All right, the next whip is the Biscuit Mill by Modern Folk Embroidery, and this is my F1 stitch. So if you're not familiar, Formula One is a driving racing series. It's supposed to be the pinnacle of motorsport. But my husband and I have been watching F1 for many years now. And I thought it would be fun to have a stitch to work on while we're watching the races and stuff. Sometimes they can get a little boring. So the hashtag Stitch F1 challenge is hosted by Carrie in Stitches. The idea is there's 3 challenges in a race weekend. You stitch the amount of stitches for the race distance, which averages around 300 stitches. And then 200 stitches in your team colors to show support for your team. Mine is Aston Martin, so I stitch in green. And then 10 stitches for every point that your driver gets for that weekend. So my driver is Fernando Alonso. He is doing really well this year in the Aston Martin. And so yeah, I have a lot of stitches to do. But this is what it looked like last time. It was an F1 this past weekend. They were in Canada and it was rainy for most of it, for like most of the pre-race stuff, like qualifying and practices and stuff. But the race was dry and fairly non-eventful. But I was able to get my 200 stitches in on the Biscuit Mill for my team, and then I ended up doing the race distance, which was 308 stitches on my Heart of the Seasons stitch along, which I still was stitching green, so I guess that kind of works out. Alonso got second in the race, so he gets 18 points, and so I think it's 18. So I have 180 stitches to do, which I haven't finished all of those yet. I've only done like 30 some stitches. So I have to catch up on that this week. But here is, I'm gonna move my needle minder because it's kind of like in the middle of everything. But here is what it looks like. So this one's relatively small. There's technically like 2 colors you can do. The dark stitches and then light stitches. So I'm just focusing on the dark stitches right now. But yeah, I got almost my windmill all done. There's still like this little flower motif to do right here. And then there's a bunch still down at the bottom to do. I'm working on like the top half of the page right now. So I think next time I work on it, I'm going to move the hoop and move it over a little bit so I can finish up this side and move down into the bottom. It's a really fun stitch to work on. I got this nice 18 count Aida, which is really soft, from my local stitching shop. I think it's Fiber on a Whim, and it's called Desert, maybe. And the thread is Weeks Dyes, and it is monkey grass. So it's a nice little like variegated green. So I love this one and how it's turning out. It's really pretty. All right, my last whip. I know, I made it. And really this one's one I don't talk about a lot. Depends on who's home when I'm filming. This stitch is a surprise stitch for my husband. He won't watch these FlossTubes, just trust me. He hears about everything anyway, so he doesn't need to watch a FlossTube. So I can talk about his project on here. But here is his surprise project, and it's another F1 thing. So I am stitching all of the racetracks for 2023 on one thing. And if you have watched my FlossTube before, you know that this project has been a difficult one for me. Love-hate relationship, but I'm happy to report that I am more on the love side lately. I kind of have come to grips with how to stitch on linen because this is my first time stitching on linen. I usually stitch on Aida, and I am stitching 2/1 tent stitch on this one. So that's like a whole new process. And I think for a while it was like, I didn't know what I was doing, so it didn't feel very neat. It didn't feel like it looked very good, but now it's looking a lot better and I'm feeling a lot better about it. But yeah, so I've decided I'm doing 4 tracks across just because of how the measurements were. So I finished the first 4 tracks and I am starting on the 5th track. Is about halfway done, but this is what it looks like so far. So I found this really beautiful linen and it's like the perfect, so this is like an Aston Martin color. Since that's our team this year, our team changes every year. We're really bad. For some reason, we don't like to root for the person who's like winning all the time. Like Lewis Hamilton was winning a ton, just dominated for a couple years. And we're like, God, that Hamilton guy, he's always winning. We hate him. And so one year we rooted for Max Verstappen, and now Max Verstappen's winning all the time. And we're like, oh, that Max Verstappen, he's winning all the time. We can't root for him anymore. And like, we'll root for Lewis Hamilton now. But Alonso has always been one of my husband's favorite drivers. And now he's on an actually team that is like a contender for winning. So I think it's really fun to kind of root for him and everything. But we are fair weather fans. We change a lot, but yeah, so I am doing like these, like the 4 racetracks across, and then they'll go down. There's 21 racetracks in there. They didn't go to the Chinese Grand Prix, so I didn't stitch that one. That was at the beginning. And then they had to cancel the one in Imola, which is in Italy, and because of flooding. I don't know if I'll stitch that one. I might, but I kind of want to keep it to like the ones I actually raced. They're like way further down into this than what I have stitched. So I'll just have to keep stitching. It's one that I stitch a lot while my husband's like gone for the day or out of town. So there's like limited time I can work on it because I don't want him to know about it. It's going to be a surprise for Christmas. The F1 season's done like around the end of November. So hopefully I can like keep up and catch up, and then I can finish in November and then be able to fully finish it for him for Christmas. Okay, so that is all of the projects I am currently working on. And now I want to share a couple things of haul. I feel like last week I had a bunch of patterns. I only have 1 pattern this week. I was good. But I have a couple other things that I wanted to share with you guys. So stitching on the canvas bag, sometimes like the needle. So I'm using a tapestry needle, so it's a lot thicker and a lot like heftier. And it was really hurting my fingers to kind of like pull it through because sometimes it's hard to get through the canvas and everything. So there's like a lining, so it's like a canvas and a lining and everything. So I was like, oh, I need something like a thimble or like a rubber or something. So I got on Amazon and I ordered these, and I think I ordered a little bit of a size too small, but they're just like little finger things that you just slide on, and then it helps grip it, and it helps like not make my fingers feel raw. But there's one for my forefinger, which is the one I pretty much just use, and then there's one for the thumb, which I haven't really been using, and this is the one that like definitely doesn't fit very well. But having both of them on is a little cumbersome. I mean, it's more comfortable, but it's just like you feel like you have fat fingers. And it's just not working out. But the forefinger one is great. So, and that's enough to make it a little more comfortable stitching on the bag and pulling the needle through, because sometimes my fingers are too slippery and you're like pulling, and then finally it comes all the way through. So these have been really helpful. I just got them on Amazon. They were relatively cheap. And then I did get, I'm not sure if I shared this the last time, but I did get a new thread keeper or floss keeper from Bags USA on Etsy. She makes these. If you're a bobbin person, she's gonna save your life because I absolutely love these and I buy them all the time. So these are little bobbin floss. I think she calls them floss buddies, but they keep your bobbins in these little plastic holders, and they're really nice. So like this is, I think it has 36 in it, and then there's like a pocket on the back, a little vinyl pocket. I don't really use it, but it's there if that's something that you want. She's got a couple different styles. I've kind of been really liking these like flat ones, but I also have some that like trifold and everything, and they have like a little zipper pouch on the bottom. But this is my newest one, and it's these cute little butterflies. She's always coming out with new patterns and adding stuff to her shop. So you can also send her a certain fabric if you want a specific one, and she'll make it for you. But these are awesome. I love them. If you're a bobbin person and you're not a floss drop person, these are amazing. They keep everything organized because you can like put your spare threads in there and I don't feel like it's a big mess in my bag anymore. And I love them. So that's my new bag from her. And then, as I mentioned, I did get one pattern and it was from Instagram again. So I don't remember who it was, but somebody posted on their Instagram that someone was closing their Etsy shop and showed the pattern that they had bought. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool pattern. And it's a little different than what I normally do. It's a little more samplery-ish, but I thought it was really great. I love books and bookcases and things like that. So I went to her Etsy site and I got it. It is Galliana Stitches. And this is the bookshelf that I got. Super cute. I might change a few things, but it's just like a monochrome, but I also have seen a lot of people, she has on her Instagram, like people doing it in different colors and stuff. So I'm really excited to like kind of pick out the colors and decide what I'm going to do with it. I don't know when I will start it or anything like that, but it's there. It's ready. Sometimes with patterns, like if you see a pattern, you just have to buy it because sometimes they go away. People retire them. They lose their licensing with the artist or something like that. And they don't like renegotiate it. So you can't get that pattern anymore. Like my Starry Night of Deathly Hallows stitch from Thread Geeks is no longer available. It's been retired and it's one of my favorite patterns and I'm so glad that I have it. When I stitch on it, people always comment and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so great. I need that pattern. Where did you get it? And I'm like, you can't get it anymore. So if you see a pattern that you absolutely love, just get it because it's always going to be there and for you, but it might not always be on the seller's website. So that is all of the haul that I have for you guys. Future plans, I kind of already hinted on all of them, but just to recap, hopefully by the next time I have part 5 of Farming Magic done, and I will have my Progress Goose fully finished and ready to go. I'll try to film my daughter's reaction to opening it and see if it's good. I'll share it, but I'm sure she'll be excited. I want to fully finish my little bag with the plants on it, which they're such small patterns, it shouldn't be hard. It's just a matter of actually working on them. So hopefully I can fully finish that and pull everything. I am hoping to maybe get a page finish on Schitt's Creek. That's one future plan that's very up in the air. Probably not going to happen. And I want to keep working on Heart of the Summer, and I want to be about a quarter of the way through. I don't think I'll quite get a page finish. The top 2 pages are bigger than the bottom 2 pages. So I'm hoping that I get close to a quarter of the way finished by the time I see you guys again. And that is all the stitching stuff that I have for you guys. My channel is called X Stitch and Chill. So I do have some chill things, which is mostly my TV shows that I'm watching. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. If not, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed all of my updates. If you are not a subscriber and you want to see more of my updates, then hit the subscribe button. If you got this far, hit the like button at least, and I really appreciate that. It helps me grow my channel and get out to more people. All right, so chill stuff. First, I know a couple FlossTubes ago I mentioned that my sister and I went to a Broadway rave. Saturday night. Today's Monday, so Saturday night, we went to a Disney rave. Well, they called it a Disney DJ night, and it was so much fun. It was super fun, just like the Broadway one, but it was Disney songs. And my sister didn't like the vibe of the participants quite as much as the Broadway people. And it was there were a lot more people. It was a lot more crowded and harder to like find a spot. And people were like all just sitting on the edges and stuff. And then when it started, everybody came onto the dance floor. And so people were like pushing to get to the front. And we're like, hey, if you want to be close to the front, then you should have gotten here earlier. This is our spot. We've been here since before it started. But it's fine. I didn't mind it too much. I stepped on somebody else's foot, and I got stepped on quite a bit. So it was just a little more wild, I guess, than the Broadway one, but it was still a lot of fun. We had a really great time. I think we ran our watches as a workout for the whole time, and in like 3 hours, I think I burned like 600 some calories or something. So it was super, super fun. If you have anything like that in your area and you really love the music, definitely go. As far as like shows go and stuff, I've actually finished a bunch of shows. Took me long enough, but I finished them. I finished The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I really enjoyed the ending. I think it was pretty fitting. I could see how people would not like the ending, but I feel like the whole season had been building up to this moment of Midge getting her big break. And that's kind of how it ended. And then like their friendship over the years, Susie and Midge, they have really grown together. So it was really nice to see like where they are at this moment in time. Really good. I really enjoyed it. Super funny, great show. It's on Amazon Prime. I think there's 5 seasons, so not too many if you want to go back. I probably will go back and rewatch it because they were showing like the sets from it during the credits, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that part of this whole thing. So it was really kind of like a throwback, and so one day I will rewatch it and go back to the beginning, see where it all started. But it's been a great journey. I really like that show. I also finished Ted Lasso, and good news, I did not cry. I think I started to get a little teary, and I was like, oh, well, I can't finish this right now anyway, so I gotta pause it and go back. But I didn't cry at all. I did it. But that was really good. Also, another pretty satisfying ending. And just a really funny show. Really cute. I loved it. It was great. It ended how it should have ended, I think. Makes a lot of people happy. So Ted Lasso is finished. The whole series is finished. So like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is done. The whole series is finished. Ted Lasso is done. The whole series is finished. I also started and finished all in one lump. Never Have I Ever on Netflix. And that's a really good one. Super funny, coming of age kind of thing, but super relatable. It was really cute. I did cry at the end of that one. It starts very traumatic, and then the mom and her daughter have this like really touching moment together at the end that kind of like brings it all back full circle. But it was really good and super funny, but super heartfelt. It's a really great one. Definitely check that one out if you haven't watched it. Never Have I Ever. Mindy Kaling is I think she's one of the writers and she's the producer, and it's a really great one. So check that one out. As far as other shows that I am still watching and into, we've been watching The Silo on Apple TV Plus. That's been, it's really heavy. It's a heavy show. I wouldn't say like not quite as heavy as like Game of Thrones or something like that, like violence wise, but like psychological wise, it's pretty deep. Or pretty heavy. So we don't watch it that often. And a lot of times it's like we're getting to watch after like our daughter's in bed and everything. And we're just not like, that's not the mental state that we want to be in. We watch it sparingly, but we're still working through that one. It is a good show. Lots of mystery, lots of like whodunit. It's like kind of a murder mystery situation, but it's also like dystopian. Like, why are we here? How did we get to this point? So it's super fun. I mean, it's not super fun, but it's good. I have also been watching season 3, which I'm not sure if it's the last season or not. It has last season vibes, but we'll see. Of The Great, which is on Hulu. It is one of the best shows on TV, hands down. One of my favorite shows ever. It is about Catherine the Great and her husband Peter, not Peter the Great. They put on the front, it says like a mostly true story. So it is based on historical facts and events, but it is very there's liberties taken for sure. And it all just kind of takes place in their palace and their court and their relationship together. And it's really fun. Elle Fanning plays Catherine, and it's really fun to watch her character go from like this super naive girl to this very powerful woman who gets shit done. Nicholas Hoult plays Peter, and he is hilarious. He's very good at what he's doing, and a lot of the supporting characters are really great. It's a great show if you haven't checked it out. And the last thing that I want to talk about as far as chill stuff is I watched a documentary on Amazon Prime called Shiny Happy People, which is about the Duggard family and the church that they're a part of, the IBLP. I cannot remember what that stands for at the moment. But they're basically Christian fundamentalists, and the things that go on in the church and how the church is and the things that happened in the family. Like growing up, I remember the show 19 Kids and Counting. Like my mom watched it. I don't know if I ever watched it, but to see like what goes on behind the scenes and what it was really like being part of this church and, what they believed and everything is pretty crazy. I kind of had known about it, but watching the documentary really put like the whole thing in perspective and a little more depth as to what's going on. I know a lot of people in the crafting community don't support Hobby Lobby. Their CEO is part of the IBLP, and all of his profits and things from his company go directly into the IBLP. I just really like learning about how other people kind of see the world and their perspectives and everything, and how you can get into certain positions, because they talk to a lot of people who have left the church, obviously. They interview one of the Duggard's daughters, who was one of the main daughters, and she had her own show for a little while on TLC. And yeah, it's just very interesting on what goes on behind the scenes and how money and power can make people do things. But it's a really good one. It's 4 parts. I think each part is an hour long, so it's not a super big commitment, but it is very eye-opening, very interesting, very good. They did a really good job on it. So Shiny Happy People, and it is on Amazon Prime. It's a good one. And with that, I don't have any other things to share with you. I feel like this is going to be a long one because I had so many whips. to share so many starts. But yeah, I'm really excited about all things that are going on. I am not too busy with work things, and my daughter's at camp this week, so hopefully I can make some good headway on a couple projects while she is having fun and not asking me for a snack every 35 seconds. I swear we've gone through so many popsicles. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this update and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. If you just enjoyed this video, leave it a like. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. You say bye, T-Bear? He's not interested in saying bye.